Hello, first graders. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be learning about measurement. If you would go ahead and turn to page 509 in your Go Math workbook, you will see the arch in St. Louis. I actually used to live in St. Louis, and I have been to the top of that arch, and it's a really cool view. The question down at the bottom, it says, what objects in the picture are shorter than the arch? So go ahead and answer that question out loud right now. So this week we're going to be learning about measuring objects. Next week we will learn about measuring time, so learning about clocks and things. I'd like you to turn to page 510 and go ahead and complete this page. It says circle the bigger object on number 1. Over here it says circle the smaller object for number 2. Then compare length. It says circle the longer object. Draw a line under the shorter object. Okay, so you have to do 2 things. You have to circle the longer object on number 3, and you also have to draw a line under the shorter object. Then you need to do the same thing for number 4. Okay, this says numbers 1 to 10. It says write each number in order to 10. So number 5, we have 1. Just fill in all the blanks until you get to 10. How you would count to 10. You should have some vocab cards in your Go Math workbook, and those are always really great to cut out and just practice making sure that you understand all the vocabulary. You can put them in a little baggie and practice them. This first word is hour. An hour has 60 minutes. So an hour is when you go through all of these minutes. That's an hour. This says longest, and it shows you which pencil is longest. This is minutes. An hour has 60 minutes. All these tiny little tick marks are the minutes, and that's how many minutes are in an hour. Okay, and then down here it says shortest, and we have a little mark, a little word shortest next to the shortest pencil. This one says half hour. A half hour has 30 minutes. So you can see that if we count by 5s all the way down to 30, that is half of the clock, and that is a half hour. This says hour hand. Hour hand. Now the hour hand is the short hand on a clock. The minute hand is the long hand on a clock. And then this word says more. We can see, let me move that up a little bit. We can see that there are more stars than there are triangles. Now I'm on page 513. So in this lesson, we're going to answer the question, how do you order objects by length? So if you look down here, I'd love it if you would do this page along with me in your workbook. So Rosa has something that is longer than the drinking straw. She has another object that is shorter than the key. What objects might she have? So if I were you, I would just kind of look around your house and find something that is longer than the straw, and then draw a picture of it underneath, and then find something that is shorter than the key, and then draw something underneath. Now on page 514, it says order 3 pieces of yarn from shortest to longest. Draw the missing piece of yarn. Now, I couldn't draw the piece of yarn like this, could I? Because that would be the shortest piece. I also, let me erase that. I also could not draw it like that, because then it would be the longest piece. So I want you to see if you can draw a piece that would be neither the shortest or the longest. it should look something like this, where it's kind of in the middle of the two. Okay, so we have, here's our shortest piece. This one's a little bit longer than that shortest piece, but then this is our longest piece. Now let's go down here. It says, draw 3 lines in order from shortest to longest. So now you get to draw your own lines. This is going to be the shortest, then this one, then this is the longest. Then on the next one, it kind of flips things around. It says draw 3 lines in order from longest to shortest. So now this one has to be your longest. Then we have this one, and then this one down here is your shortest. All right, then when you're done with that page, you can move on to page 515. It says draw 3 crayons in order from shortest to longest. So instead of drawing strings, you're going to draw little crayons that start at this line. They all have to start here so that we can compare them. And then you're going to draw your shortest here, then this one, then the longest. Down here it says draw 3 crayons in order from longest to shortest. They want your longest one to be first, then the next one, then the shortest. Okay, make sure that you're starting your crayons at the same starting point so that we can compare. Then you can move down to number 13. It says complete each sentence. So we're looking at these 3 pieces of yarn. Now we're going to be using color words. So this one is green. This piece of yarn is blue. And this one is red. So down here it says the blank yarn is the shortest. So you're going to write the color of yarn that is the shortest. Then this says the blank yarn and the blank yarn are the same length. So what 2 colors of yarn are the same length? You're going to write those in the spaces. When you're done with that page, move on to page 516. So number 14 is pretty fun. It says draw 4 objects in order from shortest to longest. Okay, so you're going to draw your items. They got to be kind of skinny. You got to draw your 4 objects, and they have to be in order from shortest to longest. Okay, but you get to be kind of creative and draw any 4 objects that you want to. Then on number 15, it says the string is shorter than the ribbon. The chain is shorter than the ribbon. Circle the longest object. If you're someone who can just figure that out in your brain, great. I know for me, it helps if I draw a picture. So whatever helps you figure this one out. So here are the 3 words over here. So you're going to circle the longest object, whether it's string or ribbon or chain. Ooh, and there is a Math on the Spot video. So if you have a device that can read QR codes, you could scan this and that little video could help you out. Then when you get to number 16, it says match each word on the left to a drawing on the right. Now notice that there are only 2 words over here and there are 3 objects over here. So really, one of these objects over here is not going to get a line drawn to it. So you're going to draw a line from shortest to the shortest object, and you're going to draw a line from longest to the longest object. All right, and that's all you have for today. Great job!